What is the easiest and the quickest way to raise my frequency? Besides the exciting and excitement and all that, but just...
Why would you want another way other than the most efficient way to do it? Why would you ask for something that is not the easiest way to do it?
Oh, that is the easiest way?
Yes. Because it's the formula that aligns with your true vibration. Is that not clear?
It's clear.
Are you sure?
Kind of.
Kinda. Let's go through it.
Okay.
You understand that you have a signature frequency that represents you. When something excites you, when you're passionate about something, that is your physical translation of the vibration of your true self. That's why it excites you. That's what that feeling is. It's the recognition, it's the sensing, it's the experience in physical terms of the vibrational frequency of your signature tone. Do you understand? So anytime you act on the thing that excites you the most, to the best that you are able, as fully as you can, and you have no insistence on the outcome, you are most purely aligned with your signature frequency. And when you are most purely aligned with your signature frequency, it opens up the idea of the structure of existence to you in such a way that you get the synchronicity you need, you get everything you need, you get the support you need in perfect timing, everything. And it reveals to you anything you need to know, anything that is relevant for your life. It moves you forward in exactly the most efficient way along the path of least resistance. That is the most efficient way to raise your frequency because it is the frequency of your true self. And all you need to do when you take action from that state is then no matter what occurs, no matter what happens, no matter what results, no matter what the outcome may be from that action, all you need to do is give it a positive spin, a positive meaning so you can extract a beneficial effect from it. And that's it. And just keep doing it. That's the formula. Please understand that we're not giving you just an opinion. We're not giving you a philosophy. We're giving you an instruction manual for how the structure of existence actually works. So therefore, follow the instruction manual. It has already been rendered down into the simplest possible form.
What if it's that easy? How come we're not always doing it?
That's such a good question. And that's the question you all have to answer for yourselves, because the reason you wouldn't do it, the reason you wouldn't know that it's that easy, is because you've been taught to believe it's not. That's why it's so important to examine your beliefs. Many of you have beliefs that things have to be a struggle, that you don't deserve things. And therefore, those kinds of beliefs get in the way of you experiencing it as easily as you could. That's why it's so important to clean out those negative belief systems that are causing the resistance within you and causing you not to realize how easy it is. That's what the whole process of this transformational age is all about. Letting go of the things that don't work for you so that you can experience the ease and effortlessness and joy of life.
So what's the process like to get rid of that belief?
You have to identify the negative belief consciously. Because when you identify a negative belief, that belief being negative is out of alignment with your true vibration. That's what negative in this context means. And when you identify something that is out of alignment with your true vibration, the moment you actually consciously identify it, then it will appear illogical, nonsensical, and as soon as it appears to make no sense, it's gone. So all you need to do to find it, if you are willing to do so, is to ask the question. Anytime a negative feeling comes up, anytime the resistance raises its head, is to ask, what would I have to believe is true about myself in this situation in order to feel or behave or think the way I do? If you are willing to hear the answer, it will come in some form, either through synchronicity or in dreams or some form, or you'll just know what it is. Or you can ask the question in another way, because sometimes fear works better for many people on your planet. And that is, What am I afraid will happen if I actually allow myself to move forward in the way that I would prefer to, in the way of my excitement? And sometimes then when you answer that question, the fear will be indicative of what the negative belief is. And again, as soon as you really identify it, you'll see that it really makes no sense. It doesn't belong to you. You picked it up from either your parents, your school, your friends, your society, but you're carrying around someone else's belief. That makes you a belief thief. Don't steal other people's beliefs.
Right.
Your own bags weigh nothing.
Right.
Anything that holds you down, anything that holds you back, anything that weighs you down doesn't belong to you.
Right.
And all you need to do is find out what it is and let it go. Now, once you identify a belief, and it seems illogical and nonsensical, as we said, that's the end of the process of letting it go, not the beginning. Once something makes no sense, you'll drop it. However, if you say you've dropped it and you still discover that you're still behaving the same way with the same resistance, what that means is you haven't found the fundamental belief. Keep digging. Because sometimes beliefs, negative ones, will surround themselves with other secondary beliefs to make sure you don't find the fundamental one, because that's what negative beliefs do. That's how they protect and preserve themselves. And therefore, the first clue is you're still behaving the same way that you don't prefer to behave. That should tell you you haven't found the fundamental belief. Keep digging. And remember, negative beliefs will use every trick in the book to prevent you from changing them. That's the way they're designed, to perpetuate themselves. So the more fear you have about finding the negative belief, that means the closer you are to finding it and letting it go, because it will throw more fear at you to prevent you from recognizing it. So the more afraid you are to look, that should be your first clue that you're just about ready to let it go. So you can use that by defining that fear in the positive way that I just did for you.
You did.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense. It's hard though.
That's a belief. There is no such thing as an inherently difficult situation. Only your belief allows you to experience it as so. So the first thing to do when you hear yourself saying things like that is catch yourself and go, wait a minute, that's not a fact. It's a belief you've bought into so strongly that you have been made to believe it's a fact. But there are no facts except the 5 laws. That's it. Everything else besides those 5 laws is not a fact. It's an opinion, it's a belief, it's a perspective. An opinion can be changed, a belief can be changed, a perspective can be changed, a fact cannot. And therefore, if you buy into the idea that something like, well, that's difficult, is a fact, you take away the ability to change it. When you understand that there are no facts except the 5 laws, then everything is changeable. And when you catch yourself, when you hear yourself giving those definitions, you can stop yourself and say, wait a minute, I don't have to believe that it's difficult. That's not a fact. It's just something I've been taught to believe is true. What would I prefer to believe is true? That it's actually fun and easy and transformable and changeable. And that's part of the challenge, because challenges are fun if you define them that way. Remember, nothing has built-in meaning. You give it the meaning, and that's the way you experience it. Everything is neutral. Everything is neutral until you give it meaning. Whether you do that consciously or unconsciously isn't the point. If you give it a meaning so automatically, so unconsciously that it seems like a fact, that doesn't mean it is a fact. It just means you've been trained to automatically give it a meaning that makes it look like a fact. Catch yourself and remind yourself, only the 5 laws are the facts. Everything else is just a condition of local circumstances and just a perspective, just an opinion, just a belief.
How would I know that I'm almost there? How would I know it?
How would you know what?
That I've identified and I've
by the fact that you will feel differently, by the fact that you'll experience your life in a different way. Because when you truly let go of a belief that is causing resistance within you, you will experience your life accelerating in a very different way. You will know it when you feel it.
I will feel it. I will know it.
Absolutely. It will be like night and day.
Okay.
Yes? Have you not ever experienced the idea of letting go of an old belief and suddenly feeling so much lighter and so much more wonderful and joyful in your life?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It's that simple.
So there's a lot of layers to it then.
Yes, because that's the way you've created your reality to be experienced.
So it's
through the letting go of the different layers so that you can discover yourself from a new point of view. That's the whole point of your life.
So keep going.
Keep going.
Keep
Act
going.
on your highest passion to the best of your ability with no insistence on a particular outcome. You will unlock the complete kit and just make sure that whatever happens, you know it's there for a reason. Even if what happens is not what you prefer, and that's okay to recognize that, but recognize it neutrally. Don't give it negative energy.
Okay.
Just recognize, all right, this isn't what I prefer. However, it's got to be here for a positive reason.
Okay.
Use it that way. You'll get the benefit from it.
It gets better and better and better.
Of course it does, because that's how it works.
Okay.
Please, all of you, remember, you are always unconditionally supported by creation. Unconditionally. So if you buy into a negative belief, creation isn't going to contradict you. It's going to say, all right, if that's what you want to buy into, I will support you in your negative belief.
Okay.
But if you say, I now prefer to buy into positive ones, again, unconditionally, creation will say, all right, I'll support you in that. You're the one that's in charge,
Okay.
not it.
So every time I identify it, I just clip it and clip it and clip it and just, okay.
Be clear about your definitions and everything will begin to shift accordingly. Does that help?
Helps.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bashar. Thank you.